This meal feeds 4 people for about $5 to $6 per serving and is a great meal prep or freezer option. Did you realize a staggering 24% of military families face food insecurity? It's unacceptable. That is why Let's Chow has united myself, Stronghold Pantry, and comedian Ashley Gutermuth to address this very serious problem. Through our partnership, we are teaching military families how to make affordable, healthy dinners at home. We're proud to promote culinary education, financial empowerment, and community engagement for our nation's veterans, service members, and their families. Before I begin teaching, I want to talk to you about Let's Chow, which is a nonprofit designed to provide services for military veterans through cooking therapy, cookware donations, culinary education, and business advice for anyone from home chefs to aspiring food truck or restaurant owners. They manage veteran-run food trucks in Annapolis, Atlantic City, Fort Lauderdale, and San Diego. Let's Chow also offers online digital training at their website, where you can find a 10-lesson program that will take you from knife cuts to perfect steak dinner and prepare you for a national certificate in food service sanitation management. Before anything, you're gonna lay out your mise en place and grab a really sharp knife. We're gonna do an easy marinade on our chicken after we slice it up. So we're gonna make sure we got our lemon, our olive oil, our salt, and our black pepper, as well as our fresh parsley ready to go for the marinade. And like I said, make sure you have a really sharp knife. That's gonna make this process way easier. Now, most chicken breasts should be pretty lean. You might have a little bit of fat like I do on this. If so, just clean it up a little. You don't gotta drive yourself crazy, but sometimes this fat doesn't quite cook down too good and it makes a little chewy bite. Slice the chicken into strips that are pretty much the same width to ensure they cook at the same rate. This is gonna ensure they get that nice crispy edge on them. After you trim off the fat from all the chicken and slice them up, throw them into a large mixing bowl so we can get our marinade going next. Now we're gonna slice our lemon in half, and this part's important. Make sure you hold your hand underneath the lemon as you juice it. You're gonna get out seeds from it. Otherwise they're gonna end up in the chicken, and then it's gonna end up in the pan and end up in your mouth, and trust me, it's not super fun eating the lemon seed. I like to do a rough chop on my parsley for this dish. You can chop it up however fine you like, but I like it because it makes it taste a little more rustic or something. I just like the big chunks of parsley in my mouth after I cook it up, you know? Now we're gonna throw in our olive oil, which, as you should know, it's the lifeblood of Italians, also of Italian Americans like myself. We're gonna throw in some salt and pepper liberally, you know, we're gonna hit it again in a minute too. So we're gonna mix it up after these go in, and then we're gonna hit it one more time with some more salt and pepper, and of course, the lifeblood of the Italian Americans, some olive oil. Now set it aside while we prep everything else for the recipe. Then, after you wash and scrub the potatoes, cut them down the middle long ways. Then we're gonna cut them in half, and that's how we're gonna make our wedges, pretty easy. Make sure you cut with the surface area that's the largest on the bottom so you don't cut your fingers. And before you know it, you get a bunch of potato wedges ready for the next step, which is boiling them. After 12 to 15 minutes, test them out with a fork, and if it punctures fairly easy, then strain out the water. The reason we boil them first is so when we roast them in the oven, they can get really nice and crispy outside without resulting in a dry potato on the inside. Once they're patted dry, lay them out on a sheet pan with parchment paper or aluminum foil. Then you're gonna coat them with olive oil and salt, and try to rub them around in the oil on the pan a bit so they're well coated, but don't go too crazy about it. And then salt them. Then we're gonna flip them over next, and we're gonna do the same thing to the next side. I'll never forget, I forgot to oil and season one side of my chicken one time, cooking on the ship in the Coast Guard. My suppo ripped me a new one. I'll never do that mistake again. Roast your wedges at 500 degrees Fahrenheit for about 25 to 30 minutes, or until they get nice and crispy on the outside. Then shovel them into a large mixing bowl like this lightweight metal bowl I have, which I absolutely love. Toss them with some parsley that, you know, honestly, you don't have to chop it that fine for this. I like mine nice and chunky, but whatever floats your boat. Practice the two-hand toss and then move on to the one-hand toss, or whatever fits your fancy, you know? Now put your potatoes to the side for later. First, I'll show you the wrong way to cook your chicken, which is overcrowding the pan that results in basically steaming the chicken as you can see up close here. We'll keep going with this method just to show you the final result and how it looks, and then I'm going to show you the right way to do it. So for this method, I'll at least take out half of it so I can show you a little better view. Quick fix is to leave half the chicken on one side of the pan and let the other side heat up a lot, and you'll hear it sizzle a lot more, and it gets it a little more brown like you'll see here, but it still has that steamy, pale consistency that we really don't want our chicken to look like. So now I'm going to show you the right way to do it, which is putting a small amount of your chicken in a really hot pan at a time. Honestly, you can just leave it like this. So you can leave it to cook on this one side for 3-4 minutes, turn them over, and they should all have a nice brown crust on it, like this one right here. You can just tell aesthetically looking, it looks way better. Now the most important part of cooking is food sanitation. We don't want to get people sick, so temp your chicken. It should be 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Next up is broccoli, one of my favorite veggies. You're going to cut the broccoli right off its stem. Try to cut about a ½ inch to an inch from the top. We don't want to get too much of that stem on there. And we're going to cut them off into whatever chunks they come off, right? Eventually we want them into bite-sized pieces. Put that stem aside, use it in a veggie stock, slice it thinly, throw it in a stir fry. And we're going to get our hot water going, about a ½ inch of water. Throw the broccoli right in there, toss them around so they're nice and coated. This is just going to be for a few minutes or until it's a really nice vibrant green like this. Then we're going to drain out the water. Get your ingredients ready next to season up the broccoli. Slice your lemon, so that's good to go. And we're going to salt it. Get that nice salt in there. And chunky garlic. I can't reiterate enough. Make your garlic chunky. We don't want minced garlic in here. Now we're going to throw in the lemon, and don't forget to put your hand under so you're not eating lemon seeds. Toss everything together so that garlic is sticking all over the broccoli. You're going to get some really nice bites of garlic, which obviously I'm excited about. Keep in mind, this meal is great to cook for a family of 4, but it's also great meal prep. You can make 4 or 5 meal preps for the week, and they heat up really nicely. And you can also freeze this really easily. You can freeze it in sections, or you can freeze the whole meal itself. For just $4, you can pay it forward by donating at www.letschow.org and pay for someone's meal. It takes just $4 to prepare a hot, restaurant quality style meal for someone in need. That meal also provides 15 training minutes to the veterans and military spouses in the training program. $4, $8, $40, or even $400, you're gonna make a huge difference in helping us fight food insecurity while providing training and education to the military community. If you know someone who is a veteran or military spouse who's a really good cook, you like going over there to eat a lot, or interested in starting a culinary business, please tell them about Let's Chow today. Hope you enjoyed this recipe at home with your family or friends, or used as a weekly meal prep, or throw in the freezer. It's a great freezer option as well. One way to support my YouTube channel is to simply like this video and subscribe to my Hellman's Kitchen YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn on your notifications so you'll know as soon as I release my next video. You can find more information on my veteran-owned business at hellmanskitchen.com. If you're a food entrepreneur, then make sure to check out my Veteran Foodie podcast, where the mission is to educate military-connected food business owners by spotlighting other entrepreneurs who share their experience and advice. Tune into my podcast on any major podcast platform or watch the video version on my YouTube channel.